Discord. So you guys did a little bit of these exponent rules on your own. That's what I was making. Those of you that are in here, that's what you were doing on Thursday. It was just kind of a pre-test deal. Don't freak out about it. I just wanted to see what you knew, and we're actually going over it right now. So things that you need to know, different rules. Okay, so the first one, anything to the 0 power equals 1. Flip it one more time. It's the back of that page. Yep, right there. So anything to the 0 power equals 1. So basically what we do is, so on this first one we see x to the 0, you guys can just mark it up. Okay, anything to the 0 power is 1. And then you just put it together. What is 4 times y to the 4th? You've already done these. These are not, this is not new stuff. What is 4 times y to the 4th? Guys, just squish it together. What is the answer?
4x, y to the 4th.
What did we do to the x? We marked it out, right?
4y.
4y to the 4th. Don't stop working on me now, I'm telling you. All right, look at number 3. I'll go back to, actually, I don't want to do number 3. Go to number 5. What do you see? Any b to the 0, we can mark out. They don't matter. If you have multiple numbers or multiple letters, again, you just squish them together. What's the only number that we have in this problem?
B.
Number, the only number.
All 5. 3 and 2.
3 and 2 are powers, right?
Yeah.
What's the number that we have, a coefficient? 4, thank you. Class is struggling a little bit, Zoomers, so if you need, you need to go ahead and answer. All right, then when you talk about multiple variables, if they're the same, you want to put them together, and the way you put them together is you add the powers. So how many total u's do you have in the problem?
2.
Look at them. 5. How did you get 5? Okay, remember u squared is u times u. U to the 3rd is u times u times u. So that makes a total of 5 u's. Good. All right. Look at number 6. Number 6. We'll get to those negative exponents in a minute. Look at number 6. What are the 2 numbers that you have, the 2 coefficients?
3 and 2.
What is 3 times 2?
6.
That's what I needed. There we go. All right, everybody good so far?
Mm-hmm.
You have how many total u's? 2. Y'all tell me if that comes up and I'm not looking at it, okay? All right, 2 total u's. V's, I have 2 right here and 3 right here, which makes a total of 5. That's it. That's all you did. All right. Look at number 13. 13. All of this is to the 0 power. So what can we do?
Just mark it out.
Mark it out, and it becomes, what did I tell you?
1.
1. That's it.
What's that first page?
What?
That first page on this? That did it already.
That's what you should have done on Thursday.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I told you needed to do today and enter in. Yep. All right. So let's go back up to the top and let's talk about these negative exponents. So I'm going to start with number 3 since it only has 1 of them. So what can I already do on number 3 that I already know?
Mark out y.
Mark out y. When you have a negative exponent can move from top to bottom. And that's how you make it positive. So if it's on the top, we'll get to some fractions in a minute. If you flip the page, you'll see fractions. If it's on the bottom, you can move it to the top. If it's on the top, you can move it to the bottom. So how do I know if it's on the top? There is no divide bar. Okay, so this one is on the top. The way I move it is I make a divide bar and I put it to the bottom. So then what you have on the top is that x to the 4th. And then on the bottom, you're going to have x, but it's going to be a positive 2. So x to the 2nd. So when you move it from bottom to top or top to bottom, you can change the sign. Now, we're not finished with this because remember, if something is the same on the top and the bottom, we can reduce it. So like 4/4 is actually what?
1.
1. So what we have right here is 4x's on the top and 2 on the bottom. If they're the same on the top and the bottom, we can mark them out. And what does that leave us with?
2x.
Not 2x, but how many total x's do we have?
3.
Where do we put that 2? Is it in the front or is it the power?
Power.
It's the power. So it leaves us with x squared. 2x would be x plus x. Okay, so that's the difference. All right, so look at number 2. We don't have any zeros, so we're good. But we do have negative exponents, and remember to fix them. We move them to the bottom. The other ones are perfectly fine as they are, so we're going to have a 4, an x, and a y on the top. On the bottom, we're going to have an x to the positive 4 and a y to the positive 4. If I write this out, again, we have a 4xy. 4x is on the bottom, 4y is on the bottom. What happens if it's the same on the top and the bottom?
Mark out.
So what does that leave us on the top?
X.
Look at it on the top,
All top. 4.
4. On the bottom,
X to the third power of 1.
x to the third, y to the third. Yeah, that's it. Okay, don't make it more complicated than what it is. So look at number 4. I got the same kind of thing. I'm going to make the divide bar. The negatives are going to go down. Anything positive is going to stay on the top. So the 3 stays on the top. The y to the third stays on the top. The x squared stays on the top. The x to the negative 2 goes on the bottom and becomes positive. And the y to the negative 3 goes on the bottom and becomes positive. What do you notice?
Marks out.
What does?
X mark.
Yeah, I have x squared on top and x squared on the bottom, right? If it's the same on the top and the bottom, I don't need to break it up. I can go ahead and mark it out. Same thing with y to the third. There's 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. I can mark it out. What did that leave me with?
3.
3. And since it's on the top, it's a whole number. All right, look at number 8. I have a negative exponent. So I'm going to move it to the bottom. What else do I have?
Here.
What can I do to it?
Mark out.
Mark out the 0. So the 2 is going to stay on the top. The 4a squared is going to stay on the top. The a cubed is going to go on the bottom and become positive. What is 2 times 4?
8.
So I have 8a squared over a cubed. If you can go ahead and do this without having to write it out, you do that. But writing it out is a fail-safe way to make sure that you get it right. So here's how I do it, cheater method wise. I have 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. What's the difference in 2 and 3? 1. Where's the biggest number, 2 or 3?
2. Or 3.
3 on the bottom, right? So I would have 1 left on the bottom. So wherever the bigger one is, where you're going to have it left over. If you can't see that, we have 2 A's on top, 3 on bottom. That leaves 1 on the bottom. So the difference in 3 and 2 is 1. Wherever the bigger power is, that's where you leave it. I left 1 on the bottom. Our final answer is 8 over A. Okay. Go back to number 7. What do you see?
Here.
Mark it out. What else do you see?
Negative.
How many of them?
1.
Just that one. It's going to go to the bottom and become positive. So we have 4. We have 3 x's on the top, 3 y's on the top, so I'm just gonna skip a step and kind of write it all out. You can do that, that's fine. And then I moved 2 x's on the bottom. Anything the same on the top and the bottom?
The other X's.
2 x's. So what did I leave on top?
You forgot the
Oh, sorry, it's there now. Numbers, 4 times 2,
8,
8. How many x's on top?
1,
How many y's?
3,
Anything on the bottom?
9.
That's your answer. That's it. Somebody else, number 9, what do you see?
0,
A 0, so I can mark it out.
negative.
And then -4 goes to the bottom. If you want to mark it out on the top so you don't see it, that's fine. So on the top, I have 3 times 3y to the 4th over y to the 4th. What do you notice?
That is why myself.
All the y's marked out. What is 3 times 3?
9.
That's it. One more like this, and then we got some squares and cubes and stuff. Right. I don't see any zeros in number 10, but I do see negative exponents. So I'm going to move them to the bottom. So u cubed and u to a positive 4. Look at your numbers on top. I have 4 times 2, which is,
8,
how many total v's do I have on the top?
1.
Look at them.
Oh, 4.
4. Zoomers, any time would be nice for you to get included in this. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and just listen to one person answer. I can't do it. Okay. Zoomers, this is your question. What's left on the bottom? How many total U's?
9.
7. So U to the 7th. There's nothing the same on the top and the bottom. That's your final answer. Okay. Somebody tell me what a square means. What does it mean to square it?
Times it by itself.
Times it by itself. So on this one, when I see square, I'm going to write it twice. X to the -3, y to the 4th, x to the -3, y to the 4th. Now it just looks like our other problems. It's exactly like our other problems. So now what's wrong?
With negatives.
Yeah, we got to put those negatives on the bottom. So we change it to x to the +3rd, x to the +3rd. How many total y's did I leave on top?
8,
8. How many total x's are on the bottom?
6.
There's nothing the same on the top and the bottom. That's it. That's it. Again, don't make it any harder than what it is. It's super simple stuff. All right. I don't want to do number 12 because it's to the 4th. So we're going to move on. I don't want to have to write it 4 times. So we're going to move on. Look at number 15. I'll get back to 14 and 16. This one says write it twice. So 3ba to the 4th, 3ba to the 4th. I don't have any zeros. I don't have any negatives. So I just squish it together. 3 times 3.
9.
How many total b's?
2.
How many total a's?
8.
That's it. That's all you do. All right, so how do we deal with negatives? I'm going to start with 16 since it only has one negative. It has the one outside. So this is all you do. Anytime it's to the -3, remember we take it to the bottom. So we're going to take this whole thing to the bottom and make it a positive. When I don't have anything on top, what is always assumed to be on top?
1.
A 1. So that makes a 1 on top. Now what does cube mean?
Times it by itself.
How many times?
3.
3 times. AB squared, AB squared, AB squared. How many total a's do you have?
3.
Again, they're on the bottom, so make sure you put the 1, otherwise you're going to get it wrong. 3 a's. How many b's? That's it. So make it into a fraction and then multiply it out. All right. So what would this one change into?
1 over 2yx to the 3rd.
To the What about your x?
Negative
Negative second. And how many times am I going to do that?
33.
3. 2yx negative 2, 2yx negative 2. Well, what's wrong with that now?
There's negative.
Yeah, so we got to put those on the top. So x squared on the top, x squared on the top, x squared on the top. What do I have on the top? How many total x's?
6.
On the bottom, I have 2 times 2 times 2,
8.
8. How many total y's?
3.
There's nothing the same on the top and the bottom, so I'm done. That's literally it.
Leave that 1.
You get what's understood in front of the x. You can put it there. It's not gonna hurt anything. If y'all want to put it there, that's fine. All right, look at your next page. This is exactly the same thing. There's nothing any different. I want to work on these two, and I'm going to skip 18 and 20 because they're all positives, and you should be able to put them together. All right, so let's work some more negatives. This one says squared. What does squared mean? Okay, 3x to the 4th y to the negative 1. 3x to the 4th y to the negative 1. What's wrong now? How do I fix those negatives?
Put 'em on the bottom.
Put them on the bottom. So it'll be a y on the bottom, and you can put y to the 1 if you want to, but again, you don't have to. The 1 is understood there. So what do I have left on top? 3 times 3 is?
No, 9.
How many x's?
8.
8. On the bottom, how many y's?
2.
There's nothing the same on the top and the bottom. So that's it. Pretty simple, right? Not too bad. Okay. All right. 17 is exactly the same way. How many times do I write it?
4 times.
2x to the negative 3y to the 4th. 2x to the negative 3y to the 4th. 2x to the negative 3y to the 4th. Now you see why I didn't do the 4th on the front page. Write it 4 times. What do I need to fix?
And the negatives.
All of these will go down here. So x cubed, and they go away. X cubed and x cubed. And I'm going to run into this, but we're not doing 18 or 20. On the top, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2.
60.
How many total y's?
16.
16. On the bottom, how many total x's?
12.
That's it. Nothing the same on the top or the bottom. That's your final. Pretty simple, right? Not too bad. All right, the other ones are fractions, and we've already been doing it. So we're pretty much done learning everything that we need to do, but we're going to do a few of these just to go through. What do you see on 21?
0.
So I can mark it out. If there's something the same on the top and the bottom, you can either write it out, 3y's over 3 times y. If it's the same on the top and the bottom, we cancel it out, and then we just write our leftovers. What do we have left on the top?
2y.
Not 2y, but
Y
y
to the 2nd.
to the second. On the bottom, we have 3. That's it. Okay. If you can remember to do it the cheater method way, what's the difference in 3 and 1?
1 and 2.
2. Where's the bigger number? On the top. So I'll leave 2 on the top. Everything else stays the same. All right, look at your next one, 22. What can I get rid of?
0.
X is 0. What about this y to the negative 4?
To the top.
And it becomes
Positive.
positive. So on the top, total it up. What do I have?
Y to the 8.
2y to the 8. On the bottom, what do I have?
3.
3. Nothing cancels out. Nothing reduces. That problem's over. What do I do on 23?
You take the negative 4 to the bottom.
This is one of the most missed problems. Okay. Why is it missed?
People don't put the 1.
People don't put the 1 on the top. So I moved the u to the 4th, but I need to have a 1 underneath. I have a 3 u to the 4th v. If you switch the letters, it's fine as well. Okay. 24, what can I do?
Here it is.
Keep going.
Put the negative 4 on top.
So what do I have left on top?
Y 4 over 4.
That's it, guys. Literally all you do. All right. So again, when you get fractions, if it's possible, you guys can use your calculator on this as well. This one is not going to show you, but the next one will, okay? But if I put in 2/3, math enter, because I have 2/3 right here, and I come up with 2/3, that means it's not reducible. So I couldn't do anything with those numbers. They're just going to stay. I have 3 y's on the top, a 3, a y, and x to the 4th. And I like to line mine up so that I can see where they're marking out. What's the same on the top and the bottom?
The Y.
So what did I leave on the top?
The Y is in the bottom.
Look at all of it.
2Y.
2y to the second. Somebody else, what did I leave on the bottom?
4. All 3.
3x to the 4th. That's okay. Those are little mistakes. That's okay. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
On the next one. Anything the same on the top and the bottom?
26.
Yeah. What can we do?
0.
0 can mark out. Anything the same on the top and the bottom?
9.
Look at it.
Yeah,
2's. If they're the same on the bottom and the top, I can mark them out. Good. All right, what did that leave me with?
X3, Y2.
That's it, y'all. If we look at 27, again, you can use the cheater method or you can write it out. I have 3 A's, 4 B's, over 2 A's, and 3 B's. And again, I like to line them up. What can I cross out? Zoomers, what can I cross out?
The 2 B's and the 3. I mean the 2 A's and the
That's
3
it.
B's.
Perfect. So what does that leave me with?
80.
AB, and it's on the top, so you don't have to put the fraction bar or anything like that. Everything on the bottom is gone. All right, just a couple more and we'll be done. What do I do on the next one?
Take out the X, 0.
Okay, somebody else, what can I do?
Move the negative.
So I actually switch these, right? So I have 4x to the 4th. The bottom one comes to the top, so a positive 4 over 4. The top goes to the bottom, y squared. What else do we see?
4 and 3, they can do out.
I have 4 on top, 2 on the bottom. That leaves a difference of 2. And where's the bigger one?
On top.
Anything else?
They got 4.
The 4's will cancel out. So my final answer is x to the 4th, y squared. That's it. So just keep going through and seeing it. All right. What do I see on 29?
There's 2 zeros.
2 zeros. So I'm left with 4m cubed over 2. What is 4 divided by 2? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So on your numbers, use your calculator if you'd like to. If I do 4 divide 2, math, enter, it'll give me 2. If it's reducible, it'll reduce, okay? So this gives me 2. And that m cubed doesn't change. Okay. And then the last one. What do you see on this one?
0 and 80.
Zeros will cancel out.
Switching.
Switch the negatives. So I get 3x to the positive 1 over 3y x to the second. Sorry. All right. What can I do now? The 3's will cancel out, so that leaves me with x over y x squared. What else can I do? One more thing.
X's.
I have 1 on top, 2 on the bottom. The difference is 1. Where's the bigger one at?
Bottom.
On the bottom. So that leaves y and x on the bottom and a 1 on top. That's it. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, so again, that's pretty much all you're doing. Just be careful on those. Let me see if there's anything that you need to worry about. on your quiz. I think you're going to be okay. Yep. You don't have to do any of that homework. Just go straight to your quiz. The homework is just for me to help you. So if I see you missing something on your quiz today, so make sure you're doing this one, not your homework. It's multiple choice. You should finish it. If you don't see the answer on there, you did something wrong, ask.
We have like Kansas.
Yep. Just normal. You'll see the multiple choice, and then the last question will be upload your work. Okay. Everybody good? All right, Zoomers, I'm going to stop sharing, stop recording.